hurricanes, tsunamis, tornadoes, climate change. We've talked about this forever. We've heard about it forever. The government, the people who is in control of the money, the people who is in control of the decision making. Why is it that these people are always so incompetent and unorganized, and the only thing these people seem to be able to do is steal land, figure out ways to strategically divide land from its true owners so that they can put cables, pipes, and all sorts of things in the land under the ground to start an enslavement system with consumers. You're not that smart. I don't really think those people were ever intended for intelligence. They're not. It's something they're lacking. It's awful what has happened in Brazil. It's awful what is happening in Harvey, in Texas. It's devastating what's happening in Florida with Irma. Why are these things happening in America? Why are these things happening in a country with so many congressmen and women, so many legislative lobbyists? It's just so many functions of fraudulent business dealings. Because, I mean, most of these agencies, Public Service Commission, most of these little agencies like that's naming themselves after something, a human need, you would think, or human service or customer service. Really not. They're really there for the corporation's interests. And who's going to make the most money off this whole Harvey situation? Of course, Trump is interested in sitting with the Democrats. That scumbag would sit with any fucking body to get what he wants, to get a check signed. And people like them, they see it as, he's willing to work with me. Oh, he's such a savior. No, you assholes all have the same agenda in mind. That's all it is. And so some people was willing to go straddle that fence and jump over to the other side when they need to. He really doesn't have any side. He doesn't have any political background. He doesn't have any political intellect. He doesn't have any political savvy. He is a derelict, and he is an example of the people that we have been dealing with and why segregation was not a bad thing at all. The thing is that perhaps the whole movement just was all distorted because of all this distortion that had become of it. And back to what's happening in Brazil. The white men that slaughtered those 10 Indians, they would like to quote unquote call the uncontacted people, which pretty much means that these are some people that white people never seen, never met, non-white people never were able to experiment on, white people were never able to use as a guinea pig, ever steal from. That's what uncontacted in quotes means, okay? But what happens and what we see all the time is when white man comes in contact with something other than himself or a place, other than what is normal for his understanding, something of a resource even, then that white man is just a savage and he's willing to do anything to compromise his humanity, most often than least to show his savagery. Just as they had with them doing what they've done to those 10 Indians. The same thing that they've done before, which started the very history that we are all living the results of now, the devastating, distorted, confusing pretense of a fraud culture. This has to stop. It has to stop. Those barbaric assholes should be lynched. They should be fucking executed by the Indians themselves, okay? Now that is the only justice that can be served to those people who had done nothing wrong to whites. And you white motherfuckers, with your greedy, selfish, and unintelligent, thieving, criminal thought processes. You take your drunk asses, I'm sure you were drunk. You people don't need drugs nor alcohol. You just don't. Record yourselves. The behavior, the animal in you comes right out. That savage, that inner savage comes right to surface. Why do the rest of us in society have to deal with your fucking savage ways? Why do I, who can be savage, but chooses to just live a happy life in spite of all the fucked up shit I've been through? Why do I have to be bothered with your savagery? Why? You're a conniving, psychotic, reverse intellect. It's disturbing. You don't pay attention to reality. You're the most ignorant culture of people that you try to convince a whole world that you are the majority and that you are at this place meant and everyone isn't, when you are the worst fucking culture of people who have ever walked this earth. And you know what? I say that with all truthfulness from the top to the bottom of my heart. You people know who you are behind closed doors. So let's just face facts right now. It doesn't matter how many pink dicks a black woman put in her mouth, and it doesn't matter how many big black cocks a white bitch gets down her throat. The end of the day is we know our positioning with each other. And if we're not fucking, we know exactly what that means. This issue is so disturbing because we have all the children of like those men who did that to the Indians just in our lifetime. That our government pretty much concealed from us for pretty much Obama's entire presidency. But you're talking shit and crying and whining, complaining about things. But we had our first mixed president who didn't do a goddamn thing for black Americans. African Americans are the poor community. He came in with an ideology to do something for all. And that is exactly what that man did, as well as clean up Bush's mistakes from that terror that we were living. But even that was nothing compared to what we're living now. Because we are actually really facing domestic terrorism as people had in the 40s. As these native Indians have in the past, which caused this whole cycle of enslavement. Christopher Columbus is the biggest white American fraud. Pull that fucking statue down. Destroy every monument that belongs to depict such a hateful terrorist that has defied a nation of people who had never hurt anyone. Your culture is of a history of hurting others and stealing from others and persecuting others for no reason, depriving one of their own innocence. You work in human services in the government and don't even know how to provide a human service. You don't know what a fucking emergency need is. You don't know what an emergency need is. Why do you have a system that does not know how to adhere to the realistic needs, the changing, the diverse needs of people? But you want people to understand about people who's doing dope and smoking crack and having homosexual relationships or wanting to be a girl from a man and all these delusional thoughts. And you know, it's so important to be able to separate what is fact and what is reality from what is not. We have so much real that we don't even fully understand. We have so much reality to deal with, but with all the distortions and the confusion. Oh, people need services, but we're going to need ID from them. We're going to need to know their income. We're going to need to be all in business about them that we don't even need to be in. We're going to have to calculate the amount of gas that they spend. All these things. What the fuck do you do when people's homes burn? I know how you treat people because I've been there before too. So I can only imagine what these people are going to experience with these blacks, Latinos, foreigners are going to experience in Irma with this Irma situation, this Harvey. They name these shits. White people. They name hurricanes names, but we can't put hyphens in our fucking children's names. Come on, people. Come on now. Okay. What the fuck is Rick Scott, other governors, this raggedy ass president, these racist nationalists going to do next? Everyone's all for themselves. People are already for themselves. We are already out here on our own. When the system fails a person like me, I know the system is a failure. Now I understand why there are so many uneducated people. There are so many poor people. There are so many people that just don't know basics and can't manage basics. It's nothing to do with those people. It is a governmental system that has strategically stupefied, dumbified people for its own purpose. For you people to be able to be in position in others' communities, to have employment so you can live off of the hardship, the devastation you cause, you induce to citizens who actually belong here. And so something has to happen. A line must be drawn now, because right now we are at a civil war. Right now we must fight for our rights. Right now we must assert ourselves in such a way as a unity, as a union, foreigners and black, Latino, Puerto Rican, Indian citizens. Because there's one culture against each of us, and they will smile in our face and they will act as if racism don't exist. But don't you think something's wrong with fucking people who try to convince you racism don't exist for you to send your kids to their school, for them to teach them, for you to get up and go to work for them every day and leave your children for them to raise? People. Oh, they gonna find a way to enslave you anyway. Oh, I know, because I haven't worked for them in a very long time. I've managed at my beer to be as self-reliant as I can for me and my children through even abusive relationships. I have managed without my system. Oh, calling them every other day, calling them, going to them to just help me really quick. No, the system is a racist system. It has a negative perception of itself, and so then it wants to subject the rest of us to its domestic, terroristic, characteristic ways. We're all not that way unless you bring it out of us. But then sometimes it doesn't matter. Is something wrong? What needs to coming out when it needs to? What the fuck are you people going to be doing for my people, for citizens in America, instead of running people through paperwork, trails of paperwork, games when it comes to their health of their children, their livelihoods, their finances? The United States Treasury Department needs to be investigated. Direct Express needs to be investigated. They are already ripping consumers off. Most of the cards that are receiving direct deposits from people who are receiving federal funds are being ripped off. And until you start to exploit and experience what is happening on another level, then you need to understand it is intolerable. And although you may stand down for it, does not mean everyone else is. You should not be pacified. You can pacify yourself. You're a grown adult. You don't need a white man to put a pacifier in your mouth. You don't need a white man to change your ass. You can do that. Because what is really happening in reality, that white man depends on you. That white woman depends on you. You'll have a supervisor right there. And the worker will be black. And the worker will be more professional and more competent and capable of doing the job here. And just functioning with the overall frustrations and anxiety related to a person actually going through hardship. White people believe in the same thing that their fathers and great-great-grandfathers believed in, that emotional thing. Oh, they can as disconnected and dysfunctionally emotional as possible. But when they're looking at other people, they're always looking at, oh, it's so wrong. Oh, what's wrong with them? But they always look at that, but they never have an answer for cure or to make it better. They have a way to monopolize, keep funneling you through their system to funnel them funds, but they're not going to help you. Why do you think when homeless people go homeless, they send the money to the hotels and to Catholic charities, diocese associations, and all these places like that? Because they're all connected with that historical past perception and that goal, that nationalist goal. And so you could be fooled and to believing in this bullshit hurricane shit. This shit has been created to distract you while they're killing fucking Indian tribes over in fucking Brazil and probably other places, because now those crackers are going to be looking the real niggers, okay, to be concerned about are them. And they're going to be looking for more land and more. These people do not understand when to stop. Let's be honest. We are experiencing all of this because of them. Okay? You want to own the cables. You want to own the wires under the ground. That's ownership of the earth. No one can own the earth. Only a white delusional person believes they can strategically devise a strategy where they can, oh my God, all right, we can come in, we can take these people's land because we believe there's gold here. And since we believe there's gold here, I'm going to get my buddies, and we're going to go out there with our guns that our government legally gave us our Second Amendment rights to use. Those people don't have amendment rights. They don't have more rights than those whites coming on their land because they've been in America way before any white person ever walked on America. Fuck Columbus. He fucking murdered my ancestors and most of yours. And so if you are honoring a individual like that, if you are treating a person like that as God, and you can't recognize the reality and harms that person caused a nation, you people are where you are because of what that man did to my people. Do you understand what that means? White people, use your left side of your brain, please, okay? Take a dick out your fucking throat. Take the dick out your fucking ear, okay? No, I'm fucking tired of you people. You go a bit too far. We know the laws are bullshit, okay? Because we hear how this president and Sessions is manipulating. If you listen to the language, it's nationalist language. It's racist language. Same language you see in the movies. Same thing they want to try to manipulate you and your children, this new generation, into believing that racism doesn't exist. So it's okay, everyone just be gay. Okay, just be gay so everyone will be confused that it's a world full of racism. Just be gay. People, get your fucking shit straight. Please, stop being so compromised. At the end of the day, you are who you are. They don't care what they confuse you with. They are happy you are confused and busy in your confused thought processes. Because you're no threat to them. You're not really fighting them. You're not really protesting them. You're just talking for conversation. You're posting a few lines. What the fuck are you doing? You're not doing nothing. Me, I'm always doing something. Me, I've been fighting for that $389 million motherfucking dollars for 4 years. By myself. Oh, y'all, they've given it to me. Oh, they have stolen my vehicles. Oh, they have stolen my money. Oh, they have ripped off my bank accounts. Oh, they have done everything to induce circumstances to put me in a situation of need. It's because they know they have no intentions on even giving my children health insurance since this president has become president. So what I'm telling you is that when people are being discriminated against because of who they are in life, of the work that they do, the advocacy, the freedom of speech that they exercise, then that is a nationalist movement against them. And so they're doing anything wrong by exploiting the nationalism I have been aware of. I have actually been quiet about. But this president resurrects such an evil mirror that you have no other option but to walk past and to look. So that you know what's next. They like to play psychological games with people's minds. That is the only thing that white people have over people. Only thing. How do you think they manipulated those Indians in Brazil to murder them and chop up their fucking bodies and throw them in the fucking river? Those people ain't never experienced nothing like that before in their life. You fucking savages. You are savages. And the government is a savage if it allows you people to behave as savage. Then who the fuck are you to try to use your laws to control and confine us? Or make us pay you our money and you don't never give us nothing back? How do you treat an American citizen as if an American citizen is a fucking immigrant? Okay? Something is wrong in this country that they design these systems that you can't even get your justice because you must go through the same races.